April 19th, 1995. Pittsburgh. A man robbed 2 banks in broad daylight. No mask, no hood. He didn't even cover his face. The cameras caught everything. His photograph aired on the evening news. An hour later, the police were at his door. When they arrested him, he was the most confused man alive. "But that's impossible," he said. "I put lemon juice on my face." Lemon juice leaves invisible ink on paper, so he was certain it would make him invisible to cameras too. You might be laughing at this story, but your brain, today, right now, at this exact moment, works exactly like his did. Cornell University. A young psychology professor read the article for the 3rd time. His name was David Dunning. One question wouldn't leave him alone. This man had genuinely believed he wouldn't be caught. Not as a bluff, not as denial. He had actually believed it, which meant that ignorance also blocked a person from seeing their own ignorance. The less you know, the less equipped you are to recognize how little you know. The question caught the attention of a graduate student named Dunning-Kruger. They worked together for 3 years, tested hundreds of students. Logic, grammar, sense of humor. 3 completely different domains, the same result every time. The title of the paper they published, Unskilled and Unaware of It. The experiment was simple. They gave students a test. Afterward, one question. What percentage of the class do you think you outperformed? The results stopped them cold. The bottom 25%. Actual score, the lowest group in the room. Their own estimate, top 40%. The margin of error was astronomical. But the stranger finding was this. The top 25% underestimated themselves. They couldn't recognize how capable they were, because to them, everything seemed obvious. Dunning summarized it in a single line. You need to know in order to know what you don't know. To evaluate a concept, you need the ruler that concept is measured with. To assess music, your ear has to be developed. To recognize flawed logic, you need training in logic. To see your own incompetence, you can't be incompetent. The ignorant couldn't see the edges of their ignorance, because seeing those edges would have required knowledge they didn't have. But the story doesn't end there. 30 years later, neuroscience showed where all of this was actually coming from. Deep behind the forehead is a region called the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. This region handles what's known as metacognition. In other words, watching your own thinking, auditing your own knowledge, being able to ask, what if I'm wrong? When this region runs weak, your brain lies to you. It tells you you know everything. It tells you you're right. It tells you there's no need to question this. That was the mental state Wheeler was in when he robbed that bank. That is also the mental state of whoever is talking the loudest in the meeting room right now. The people who have learned the most are usually the quietest in the room. This channel carries their stories, but staying here is up to you. The internet was the perfect environment for the Dunning-Kruger effect. Because there, the loudest voice wins. Not the most informed, not the most accurate, the loudest. Someone who watched a 3-minute video about a disease speaks with more confidence than a doctor who spent 30 years studying it. Someone who read a book summary argues more forcefully than the person who wrote the book. Someone who heard about a topic last week speaks with more certainty than the person who has lived it for a decade. Because real experts, they hesitate. The person who truly knows something understands the limits of what they know, and those limits make them go quiet. This phenomenon has a name: the Dunning-Kruger effect. Most people misunderstand it. The common summary is, stupid people think they're smart. That's a surface-level reading. Dunning-Kruger is not about intelligence. It's about metacognition. It's about your capacity to recognize how sound your own thinking actually is. And that capacity is weak in everyone, in at least one domain. Even the sharpest mind alive becomes Wheeler the moment it wanders into a field it knows nothing about. The doctor is overconfident about finance. The engineer is overconfident about relationships. The philosopher is overconfident in the kitchen. Mount Stupid is a mountain everyone climbs, just about different things. Only the subject changes. And when you're standing at the top, you can't see it, because the air up there is so clear. You believe you can see everything. To come back down, you have to fall first. Now confess something, but to yourself, not to me. In the last 6 months, was there a moment you spoke about something with complete certainty? An argument, a comment, a dinner table conversation, a sentence that started with, "Actually, what's really going on here is..." Now think about it. How many books had you read on that subject? How many years had you spent studying it? How many deep conversations had you actually had about it? The honest answer was probably this: a few videos, an article or two, one podcast episode. But in that moment, you felt like an expert. And that feeling wasn't something you created. Your brain, your dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, handed it to you, because you weren't deep enough yet to see what was missing. Now think about the other side. There is something you genuinely know. Maybe it's your profession. Maybe it's a craft you've given years of your life to. What do you do in that area? You stay quiet. You hold back. You say, "I might be wrong about this," because you've seen the edges of that subject. And once you saw the edges, you understood how vast it really was. Here is the paradox. The less you know, the louder you speak. The more you know, the slower you speak. And how many times today, how many times did you speak loudly about something you didn't actually know? About a person, about an event, about a group of people. That's just how they are. This is definitely what happened. Honestly, it's pretty simple. Those are the words of a man who put lemon juice on his face. April 19th, 1995. A man put lemon juice on his face and believed he had become invisible. What lemon juice did you put on yours today? Silence is not the absence of something. Silence is proof that you've seen something.